And this one's a really interesting one because it is a cooperative narrative adventure, but this one is also the first entry into their game system. And this one's going to be playing over a series of different scenarios, which are going to offer you different puzzles and monsters to fight. And it is designed to be a very challenging game, but this one is also designed to be an entry into that system. It's going to provide 24 different maps that you can play across, and it does act as a prologue for the core box, which will be released sometime next year. And if you do want to learn more about it, make sure to subscribe down below because I will cover it once it launches. But this version is not a watered down version of that larger game. This one's going to be offering you a full comprehensive experience across different terrains and enemies and introducing different mechanisms. Something that I really like about this game is that it offers 24 different maps that you can play across, which is going to allow you to set up the different scenarios really quickly. But rather than offering this in a flip book or offering you maps that are made out of paper, each one of these is going to actually be a full-on board, allowing you to really get that immersion out on the table and to have that really high-quality feel. But of course, each player is going to be playing as their own unique character with their own stats, special abilities, and strengths and weaknesses. And you're going to have this hero dashboard to keep track of all of that. And it's designed to hold everything you need in order to keep track of your character and your character's developments. Players are going to be playing through the different scenarios, trying to complete their objectives and applying any specific rules for that scenario. And then players are going to be using their actions to explore a map, to investigate different points of interest, or gather tokens, or fight different enemies. And what's really cool about this game is that the battles actually take place on the same map that you're exploring, so you're not going to be doing combat on some separate board or anything like that. Once you run into an enemy and it's aware of you, it's going to be starting to try to attack you. In order to determine which order the enemies and the characters activate, you're going to be drawing for initiative and then comparing that amongst the different characters. And if you do find that it's more strategic to try and play your actions first, you can also spend that same resource that you use on your actions in order to bump up your initiative value. In order to attack or perform other actions, you may have to roll skill checks, and the skill that you're going to be checking against depends on the type of attack or action that you're doing. You're going to have some amount of base damage, but then the dice will actually modify that value, and of course adding any additional effects, either from strengths or weaknesses of the enemy, or any buffs that you might have applied to yourself. Players do also have the option to rest after a battle, which will allow you to regain your stats and action tokens. And you will also be able to draw a card from the rest deck, which is mostly good things, but there are also some different things that could happen that are not so good, like getting ambushed by more enemies. But the game continues like this as you play through those scenarios and discover the overarching story, and if this one does sound interesting to you, I will have it linked down below.